It is going to be the best place to play baseball in the United States.
We will be opening an incredible, visionary stadium right on the Las Vegas Strip.
Congratulations to the A's. Congratulations to Las Vegas.
How we doing, everybody? Let's try that again. How we doing, everybody? That's the sound I like to hear. I want to thank you guys for coming out today. I know you've got a lot of stuff on your schedule here. We appreciate you. We greatly appreciate you carving out the time to come and enjoy this incredible occasion for us. For those of you folks who don't know me, who might not be watching A's baseball, which we're going to change by the end of this, I promise you that. My name is Dallas Braden. I'm the broadcaster for the Athletics, and I'm somebody who has got to live a very fortunate life, a very fortunate path here. I was the little fella who got to grow up cheering for the green and gold. I was the little fella who got to grow up and play for the green and gold. And now I'm the much older fella who gets to talk about the green and gold and what they have done on the baseball field. So I, just like many of you, very excited for a day just like today. And when this day started to pop up on the schedule, a lot of emotion started to pop up as well for myself. And I'll tell you a couple quick stories. We have ties here to Las Vegas. My two uncles were actually fortunate enough to take the honor of building one of the first two pirate ships for Treasure Island when that place first popped up. And I know I might look like I belong on one of those pirate ships. I know what you're thinking. But from there, they'd pack up their tool bags and head to New York. Well, New York, if you will, because they built the roller coaster too. And when they needed somebody to figure out whether or not it worked, they were looking for a couple crash test dummies. And my two uncles, hands up in the air, said, "We built it, we trust it, we'll be your dummies, no problem." So when Las Vegas started to become a reality, as I said, there was a lot of emotion, not only for myself, but for my family and for a lot of folks involved. And as I said, it's an honor to be here today. This morning, we're going to be hearing from several individuals who have been instrumental in today's event and bringing the A's to Las Vegas. So before we get started, I'm very pleased to welcome a number of honored guests here today, including representatives from the Nevada Federal Delegation, the state constitutional officers, the Nevada Legislature, Clark County Commission, the City of Las Vegas, City of Henderson, City of North Las Vegas. We've got Boulder City in the house, City of Mesa, the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, as well as the Las Vegas Stadium and Authority Board. We also have some esteemed colleagues of mine in the building. A man I was able to call a former teammate, and a man that has done so much already for this organization. The manager of the Athletics, Mark Kotze, is in the house. I'm sure many of you have been able to set eyes upon this individual, and I promise you those eyes have been staring back at you as well. Three-time World Series champ. We've got a World Series MVP in the house, Dave Stewart, in the building as well. Newly minted A's Hall of Famer. We've also got another jacket wearer in the building, the best mustache the game has ever known. Another World Series MVP, and he's got 3 of them rings as well. None other than the great Hall of Famer, Raleigh Fingers. Now, I do just want to remind folks, our game has encountered some changes here, and I think as a broadcaster, and maybe for some fans, one of the greatest changes that our esteemed commissioners came up with is the pitch clock, the pitch timer. So I'm going to remind you, speakers, get it going, get engaged. We got a schedule to keep, so dig in the box and be ready to hit. Pick out a pitch and swing. So right now what I'd like to do is welcome to the stage Mr. Steve Hill, the CEO and President of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority.
Now that's a beard to aspire to, isn't it? Yeah. I know we're here to celebrate a groundbreaking, but it just so happens that yesterday was the birthday of two people who are going to have an awful lot to do with the success of this stadium. So I'm not going to sing, but if you would join me in a round of applause for Brian Yost, who is our Chief of Sports at the LVCVA, and Mark Bedane, who is with the Raiders. Both celebrated their birthday yesterday. So, yeah. And who are both not speaking to me now. This is a great day for Las Vegas. The opportunity to welcome Major League Baseball to our city, to welcome the A's to our city, will go down in history, will be a part of our skyline, will be a part of us for decades and decades. We are exceptionally honored and excited to be here. I'm honored to be a part of this. Las Vegas knows how to come together and make things happen like no other city in the world. We are the sports capital, the entertainment capital, the meeting capital of the world, because this community knows how to come together like no other and make great ideas, make great things happen. We remove obstacles. We allow great ideas from the entrepreneurs who have them to move forward, and today is a celebration of that. I want to thank all that have been a part of making today happen throughout this community, our state leadership, our local leadership, so many people who have to come together to make a project like this real. I want to give thanks to all of you. How about a round of applause for what Las Vegas is able to do? Commissioner, I want to thank you and all of the owners of Major League Baseball for the trust that you have shown in our community. Please convey that to all of them. We're going to be thrilled to welcome them all to town. It's going to be a fantastic place for their teams to play, their fans to come and visit Las Vegas. It's all a part of what makes this stadium so great. And John, I want to thank you, your family, the entire A's team, for your trust, your commitment, for following through on everything that you have said. We've still got some work to do, but it's going to be an awful lot of fun to see what is going to be such an iconic ballpark built on this parcel. So thank you. Tell your family thanks for us, and certainly the entire A's team. We look forward to welcoming you in 2028. We're on the site of a parcel that has meant so much to Las Vegas. This has been a place that has welcomed dreamers and entrepreneurs and made people stars. And we are going to do that again on this site. This is an iconic location. This is going to be an epic ballpark. And there's going to be no better place in the United States to watch Major League Baseball. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for making it happen. And it's my honor to announce and bring to the stage two of the real stars of our program today, Cy and Sierra with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Welcome.
Bring this down to our level a little bit. There we go. Might have to go on our tippy toes here. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sierra. I am here with the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Nevada. We are so honored to be here and be able to present to you that you are here at the groundbreaking of the future home of the Athletics. We're so excited to bring the Athletics here to Las Vegas, in our hometown, and in the town that Make-A-Wish made our wishes come true. When it comes to going through what we went through with our medical journeys, Make-A-Wish Nevada brings light at the end of the day, brings light at the end of the tunnel for us. After we go through our treatments, our surgeries, it's the light at the end of the tunnel. And we're so excited to have a new community come into Las Vegas and be a part of this beautiful community that we've created and that helps wishes come true for Make-A-Wish kids like myself and Sai here. And I'd just like to introduce you to Sai.
Alrighty, thank you, Sierra. Good morning, everyone. I'm Wish Kid Sai, and I'm very excited and honored to be here today to celebrate this huge milestone with the A's and to represent Make-A-Wish Nevada. For many Wish kids, meeting their favorite athlete or being on their favorite team for just one day can be a truly magical experience for them, and it gives them tons of hope in their darkest days. The Make-A-Wish Foundation has helped me and so many other kids get through tough times because no matter what, if we had surgeries or treatments coming up, we always knew that we had our wish to look forward to. Since receiving my wish, me and Sierra have been involved in the Make-A-Wish community even more. We became Make-A-Wish ambassadors, helping grant wishes for kids with critical illnesses, which is one of the best things and one of our favorite things that we do together. It's an honor to be here today, and I'm so happy that the A's are moving to Las Vegas, to our community, the place we call our home. Just thank you to all the A's and Make-A-Wish Nevada. I'd like to introduce John Fisher.
Wow, they're a hard act to follow. Thank you, Sai. Thank you, Sierra. You know, these projects, they probably look like they happen pretty quickly, but the reality is there's incredible amount of work and time and effort and so many people's involvement to even bring us to today. And 3 years from now, you know, you'll see the fruits of all of that labor when in 2028 we have opening day out here on the Las Vegas Strip. It's an epic moment for our 124-year-old franchise. But it wouldn't be right unless I could thank a number of the people for whom, you know, without their involvement, we absolutely would not be here today. You know, first I'd like to thank my partner, Sandy Dean, who many of you know, who's been tirelessly working on this for, you know, the last 20 years with me. And I also want to thank Mark Bedane. Incredibly fortunate to have Mark now leading our organization. And Mark, thank you for everything. You know, when I had the opportunity to, you know, walk the halls of the Capitol in Carson City and visit with so many politicians, government officials there, and walk into their offices and see, you know, pictures of the Detroit Tigers, in the case of my friend Steve Joerger, and see, you know, go into Nicole Canizzaro's room or office and have her show me a picture of her wedding cake, which had her team on one side of the cake and her husband's team on the other. You know, I really got a sense that, you know, baseball is something that Nevadans love. And that gave me, you know, tremendous confidence in thinking about what the future for us could be here in Las Vegas. And, but, you know, I want to just give special thanks to the governor, Joe Lombardo, who was, you know, absolutely unwavering in his support. You know, in one of our fairly early meetings, we went into we sat down, we talked about what we were going to try and be able to achieve here. We shook hands, and that was really all it took. You know, he then went to work and helped make this happen. So to you, Governor, thank you. Also incredibly important to this effort was Jim Gibson. Jim, at the time, was the head of the Clark County Commissioner's Office, and looked at me and said, "Hey, I love baseball. I know that this is great for Las Vegas. We're going to make this happen." Jim, thank you. And Steve Hill and his team at the LVCVA have just been incredible supporters. Steve is not always the easiest. We would meet with him in his office, and he looked us in the eye and said, "Are you really going to do this?" And and he described exactly where we were going to end up today. And he has been an incredible man of his word and incredibly consistent and strong supporter of what we've been able to achieve today. So thank you, Steve. To my friends and my family, who are over there, who've had to, I don't want to use the word suffer, because suffer is negative. What's the positive? Enjoyed the process that we've been through to get us where we are today. Thank you. I love you guys. And I absolutely would positively not be here today if it wasn't for my great partner, Lou Wolf. Lou's here from LA, and Lou brought me into the A's in 2005, and we've been incredible partners ever since. He's here with his son Keith, who's been very much an important advisor in how we've created this ballpark behind us, or that we're on, actually. So thank you guys very much for being here. There are going to be thousands of people on this site in short order, and none of that would have happened without the strong support of the union. So Buildings and Trades, Culinary, Unite, so many of you guys who are here today, thank you so much for making this all possible. Thank you to UMB. This site is part of a much larger project. The project is going to have a tremendous Bally's resort on it. And so I just want to give our special thanks to Soo Kim, who's not here today. Unfortunately, he's traveling, and his team at Bally's, to Brandon Moore, who is here today. Thank you, Brandon. And to his boss, Peter Carlino, and GLPI. Thanks for believing in us from the very beginning and making this happen. I don't want to get too emotional here when I talk about the commissioner of baseball, but when I sat down with the commissioner and he said, "Hey, we're going to make this happen," he never wavered. And it's not always an easy job to be the commissioner of 30 owners, all of whom want something special on any given day. But to Commissioner Manfred, who looked at what we were building here and knew that this was the right thing for baseball, and then set about making sure that all 30 owners, or all 29, he knew he had my vote, that all 29 were going to support this. Thank you, Rob. I don't know if you guys know, but we lost one of the greatest Oakland Athletics ball players to ever play, and that was Rickey Henderson. And Rickey was here just a short time ago when we had the implosion on this site. Sat in the back behind 500 people watching that event, totally unassuming. No one knew who he was. But those people that understood baseball and recognized him, knew that they were in the presence of genius and really greatness. And so, we've dedicated this season, but I think we can think that we're really dedicating so much about where we are today to our great Rickey Henderson. So we miss him. Okay, I'm getting to the end here. So Dallas, don't come up and get me off just yet. But you guys may not know that 15 short years ago, in 2010, May 17th, May 9th, close enough. The A's had one of the great pitching efforts of all time, with Dallas Braden on the mound throwing a perfect game on Mother's Day. And so when he talks pretty humbly about his uncles being crash dummies, he never sings his own praises enough. And he's one of the great players who ever wore an athletics uniform. So thank you. All right, which leads me into the person I'm here to introduce, and that is somebody that we hope will be the next Dallas Braden pitching for the A's, and that's Wyatt Erickson. Now, when I was here for the implosion, I talked about how Wyatt is a Henderson Little Leaguer, and I talked about how at the end of the day, baseball is a kid's sport, and we enjoy it. From when we're little kids to being little leaguers to being in high school and college. Recently baseball made an investment in the softball league, and so we're incredibly excited about that opportunity as well. But the Aviators out here in Summerlin are a AAA affiliate. It's something that we hope fans from the youngest of age to the oldest will enjoy for their lifetimes. It is a game to enjoy for your life. So I'm really excited. We reached out to Wyatt, or to his parents, I guess I should say, and they were going to be in St. Louis. And so to his parents, I want to say thank you guys for flying back from St. Louis for this event. It means the world to the A's. And on that, I'd like to introduce the great Little League player from Henderson, Wyatt Erickson.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. I'm honored for the opportunity to represent Little League and youth baseball players from Nevada. Last summer, I had the privilege of playing baseball with an incredible group of teammates and coaches with the Paseo Verde Little League on our journey to the Little League World Series. It was an amazing experience that created memories that will last a lifetime. One of my most memorable moments came during the championship game of the Little League Regional Tournament. With the help of a strong defense behind me, I was able to throw a no-hitter to send our team to the World Series. I want to take a moment to tell the A's organization how much I appreciate their support of Little League in Nevada as well as our team last summer. The A's helped with some of the expenses for our families to travel with us to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Thank you. I've been playing baseball since I was 4 years old and haven't stopped since. In fact, I will be leaving later this afternoon to rejoin my team in St. Louis to finish up a tournament. My goal has always been to play baseball in college and ultimately work hard enough to make it to the MLB. I will get to work on this goal next year in 8th grade at Masonary Tom's Baseball Academy, where I will be able to focus on schoolwork and developing skills to become a great player. Baseball in this city continues to grow. I can't wait for the A's to come to Las Vegas and become part of this community. Thank you for inviting me to come to this groundbreaking ceremony. One day with hard work, I hope to be back in this location playing in this stadium. And now, please help me welcome the Commissioner of Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred.
All right, Dallas, I am the pitch clock guy. Where are you? I'm going to get you back on track here. Look, I could not be more excited to be here in Las Vegas today. Las Vegas has proven itself to be a great sports town and a great host to professional franchises. All of us at Major League Baseball, all the owners, are excited to be adding Major League Baseball to the entertainment alternatives that are available here in Southern Nevada. The Athletics have a long and proud history. 9 World Series titles, great players like Rickey Henderson, Dave Stewart, Raleigh Fingers, Vida Blue, list goes on and on. I think about today as the beginning of a new chapter in that great history. John Fisher, Sandy Dean, Mark, the entire A's team are gonna build Las Vegas an unbelievable, awesome, iconic ballpark. And I'm sure some of you are already watching. The A's have put together one of the most talented young rosters in Major League Baseball as they begin to build towards 2028. Players like Jacob Wilson, Brent Rooker, Lawrence Butler should help bring not only a baseball team, but a winner to here in Las Vegas. You know, when you have 30 teams, you get a chance to work with governments around the United States. And those of you who live here in Nevada should take great comfort in the efficiency and effectiveness of your elected officials. And trust me, we would not be here today were it not for some of the hard work that went into making this a reality. At the top of the list is obviously Governor Lombardo, unwavering in his support for bringing baseball to Nevada. Congresswoman Dena Titus, another supporter of our efforts here. I was laughing with Steve Joerger back in the green room there. We'd never actually met, but there was a period of time where we spent a lot of time on the phone together, absolutely crucial to getting the necessary legislation done. Commissioner Jim Gibson, another huge supporter of baseball from day one, and of course Steve Hill. They did a great job in terms of bringing this to fruition. I'm sure between now and 2028, I'm gonna be back here in Las Vegas, but I'll tell you one thing absolutely for certain. I will be here opening day 2028 to celebrate with John Fisher, his entire team, and I hope the entire state of Nevada. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tessa Rosenstein, and I would like to start by saying a special thank you to Commissioner Manfred. I was so excited to see the announcement that Major League Baseball would be investing in women's professional softball. So, thank you for supporting female athletes like me. I am a lifelong Nevadan and a diehard baseball fan. I started playing softball in 5th grade, and this fall I will be playing on the varsity softball team at the Meadows School. I am also a proud member of Henderson Girls Softball Association. Across our valley, baseball fans like me have never had a hometown team to root for, so the A's coming here is like a dream come true. So today, I would like to thank everyone here today that is helping make that dream come true, including our next speaker. So please join us in welcoming our governor, the Honorable Joe Lombardo.
right, good morning, everybody. I got my little anxiety ball here. Well, I don't want to repeat a lot of what the previous speaker spoke of, but I think it's important for people to realize, especially the crowd here today, it's amazing when things actually get consummated, how many people show up. It was interesting when me and Mr. Fisher, John, had the opportunity to meet each other, 2.5 years ago, John? And he described the meeting, but he left one person that was in the meeting out of the announcements, and it's a person that's very special to me, and I actually consider her a mentor, and that's Marilyn Kirkpatrick. Marilyn, are you here? Where's she at? Oh, she's over there. So prior to the meeting coming together, I called Marilyn. I said, Marilyn, is this a good idea or not? And we walked through the nuances and everything associated with the government process. And I said, you're going to have a lot of naysayers as a result of our current society and how we deal with things on social media and the people that opine from their couch in their mother's basement. But we came together, Sandy was there. Sandy, thank you for being there. And we had a really robust conversation on how we were going to get there. And John is correct. He stuck out his hand at the end of all the sidebars and everything else that took place and says, we're going to get this done, and I appreciate your support. And I said, well, you have my 100% support. And we left from that point, and then we had a couple conversations as we entered the legislative session. As you know, for something of this magnitude, it requires legislation to get it across the finish line. And subsequently, we had very terse conversations, myself and Steve Joerger. Very terse. And I'm happy to say that because that's how government works, right? You got to have a consternation, you got to have discourse, and then hopefully, eventually, you have consensus. And then sine die happened. And that was the end of the legislature, and we had not had the A's discussion, to the disappointment of myself and many people associated with all the work. So subsequently, I called a special session. Steve yelled at me for about an hour. No, I'm just joking, Steve. The press is here. You can write that if you want. I don't care. But no, we had a really, really hard discussions, and as you can imagine, when you're whipping the votes and determining whether this is going to make it past the finish line, there was some sleepless nights. And eventually we got the vote to take place, and it passed. And who called me within 2 minutes of the vote taking place? Mr. Fisher. And thanked me for all the hard work, and I promised him that we will continue to move the ball down I can't say down the field, I say around the circle, around the diamond, and we're gonna get this to the finish line. So now all the hard work starts, right? So then I started making phone calls, is this gonna happen? And John talked about Mr. Carlino. I had numerous conversations with him. I had numerous conversations with John, numerous conversations with Sandy, and I had numerous conversations with two other individuals in this audience, and they deserve recognition, and that's Tony and Anthony Marnell. Are they here? Over there. Let me tell you something, folks. If you're going to get something done in the state of Nevada, those are the two individuals you need to talk to because they understand all the hurdles associated with something of this magnitude and what exactly is going to make it a success. And so I reached out to Anthony, a good friend of mine, and I tried to stay away from Tony. He makes me nervous. But they asked the hard questions in which I presented to everybody involved, and here we are today. Today, this is the culmination of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, and vision for us to have success here in the state of Nevada. When I was approached by the media, when I came in here earlier today, they said, well, what does this mean to you? And you would think immediately the words out of my mouth would be sports, sports, sports. It isn't. To me, it's economic drivers, it's jobs, it's the ability to be the true entertainment capital of the world and drive everything home in what we envisioned and what John and I envisioned in having success in this. So here we are today. The conversations still continue, but I anticipate that the pile drivers behind me are going to be hitting the ground sometime this evening. And in 2028, we're going to be throwing a pitch across that plate. And so I asked Raleigh, Mr. Fingers, was the plate always that big? Is that why you had such a good record? So, before I leave the podium, I want to make sure that I recognize the A's organization, because day one, we quite often are in fear of corporate giants coming into your space and not participating to what the community needs or what the community concerns or the community momentum. And the A's have done monumental investment in Little League Baseball and girls softball here locally. And they're going to continue to do that as a promise from Mr. Fisher to myself. And I think they understand, they realize the importance of that. So with that said, I think it's important I recognize one more person. And I want to embarrass him. Mark Bedane, can you stand up? So you assume I was going to recognize him for all his hard work and his assistance, but I got to recognize him for that suit he's wearing. So I asked him if Mr. Fisher forces him to wear that thing, and he said no, he was proud to wear it. So it's good, all good, all good. So one thing's going to happen in 2028, and it's going to be the first pitch, right? So thank you, Leuna, for giving me a ball to work with here. And, so I don't know if it's the commissioner of baseball or the owner of the A's that has the authority to allow me to throw the first pitch. But I will be working my arm for the next 3 years. All right? Hey, oh, see, he gave me a promise. Everybody saw it. All right. Now it's my honor to bring Cy and Sierra back up to the stage. And before I let them have at it, everybody on behalf of myself, the state of Nevada, God bless you and God bless the state of Nevada.
Thank you, Governor Lombardo. We appreciate you, and we appreciate your your support for Make-A-Wish Nevada.
Some of you may or may not know this, but Mr. Lombardo used to be on the board for Make-A-Wish, what used to be Make-A-Wish Southern Nevada and is now Make-A-Wish Nevada. So big thank you to Mr. Lombardo once again. We cannot be more grateful than where we are standing today. I just want to give a big thanks to our moms who are in the crowd. They deserve a big round of applause. And the people that they've raised, the women that they are and they raised us to be. And another woman that I would like to thank, and I have the utmost gratitude and pleasure introducing, is Ms. Congresswoman Dena Titus.
Well, thank you so much. What a pleasure it is to be here. Commissioner, welcome. Mr. Fisher, Governor, don't make fun of my outfit now. You can make fun of theirs, but don't make fun of mine. This is quite an exciting day, and I want to welcome all of you and the A's to the heart of District 1. You know, we have been the entertainment capital for many years, and now we really are the sports capital. Just in this small area right here in the heart of my district, you've got the Raiders and the Aces and the Knights and wrestling and the race, and now the icing on the cake is going to be the A's. So welcome to Las Vegas Athletics. Doesn't that sound good? And you have the best seat in the house right behind home plate. You know, not only is this going to be exciting for the sports world, but as Steve Hill mentioned, for the economy of Southern Nevada. It's been sports that has helped us come back after COVID, bringing back new visitors, new tourists, people who come for sports, not just for the other things Las Vegas has to offer. And so not only will you be baseball games during the season, but you've created thousands of good union jobs to build this stadium and to work here after the season starts. And also you'll be hosting other kinds of events here in the park, which will go on throughout the year and keep things happening right here at home. So thank you for all of that. You've heard what a storied history the A's have. Over 120 years, they've been wandering around in the desert looking for Las Vegas to be their permanent home. So we're glad you found it, and we're glad you're going to stay. We have Mr. Fingers. I always wonder if that was his real name or it was just a nickname because of the way he played. Thank you for being here, too. But some of the other names, you heard about Ricky Henderson and what a player he was, known everywhere beyond his team. Reggie Jackson, you had Connie Mack, Charlie Finley. Let's don't forget the Bash Brothers. Y'all know who the Bash Brothers are. And the movie Moneyball that was made about the A's. So you have quite a place in history, and we know you'll be making more of it in the years to come as you play here in Las Vegas. It's a pleasure to represent all of you. The 700,000 people in District 1 are extremely excited. They want to be here for that first pitch, Governor. And I always remember, and I have to tell myself this a lot as I deal with Washington, there's no crying in baseball. Thank you very much.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am Steve Joerger. I serve as the Speaker of the Nevada Assembly. No relation to the Hall of Fame catcher, but if you could let him know to get a social media account, that would help lessen the number of times I'm tagged in posts of people thinking that I am actually a former World Series MVP. So that's my ask of you. I want to thank all of you for being here today. You just heard from some of our local kids, who, by the way, were amazing. We had little leaguers, softball players, and that is what really brings home to me what this is all about. When the legislation to make this stadium was a reality, this stadium reality was before my legislative colleagues and I, back in 2023, you heard Governor Lombardo mention it took some real effort to get everyone to see what this could mean for our state, for our community, and for our kids and family. But through the many conversations I had with the A's organization, it became clear to me that there was a serious commitment to building a world-class stadium and to becoming a part of the very fabric of the Nevada community. And that is why I couldn't be more honored to be standing right in front of home plate, and I look forward to being here to see Governor Lombardo's first pitch, and I hope it's better than Treasurer Conine's first pitch at the Aviators game I saw a while back, because that was bad. So look up the video if you haven't seen it. So nobody can deny the incredible impact of professional sports and sports facilities coming to Nevada, which also adds a home team for locals, a favorite destination for visitors to see their team play, and facilities that can also serve as venues for other meetings, events, concerts, and the like. It has already been said today, but we truly are the sports and entertainment capital of the world, and this stadium will be yet another validation of that. Now, I have been a baseball fan as long as I can remember. I recall meeting Kirby Puckett at a bowling alley in Minnesota when I was just a kid. When we moved to Michigan, I became, and still am, a huge Detroit Tigers fan. I have some family from the Detroit area in the back, so they're representing the Tigers here today. And then when my legal career took me to Arizona, I became a loyal Diamondbacks fan, attending dozens of games. I will still root for the Tigers. I have to, or my mom will let me back in the state. But I have already become an A's fan too, and I am proud to maintain that dual loyalty and cheer for the success of the A's all the way to a World Series championship. So I want to say thank you to the A's organization and everyone in this room who has worked tirelessly over not just the last couple of years, but the last couple of decades to bring us to this amazing moment. I really appreciate it. And now, if you would please help me welcome Clark County Commissioner and Chairman of the Board of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, Commissioner Jim Gibson.
Boy, am I excited to be here today. What an incredible experience. And thank you, Steve, for the introduction. I first spoke to Commissioner Manfred years ago, it seems like. In fact, I met with the A's at the Mob Museum. We're trying to keep it a secret. And so we had this meeting at the Mob Museum, and we actually got the commissioner on the phone, and we talked a lot about the state and the things that would have to be done there, and the county, and selections of a site. In fact, we heard a lot. Some of you may have been aware of some of the things that were happening in terms of site selection. Nothing could be better than putting this iconic structure on the most famous street in the entire world, the Las Vegas Strip. You know, it wasn't that many years ago, all of us, even these young people who've been up here, are old enough to remember when there were no professional sports in Las Vegas. They would come, they would play a game or two, and then leave. The transformation that has happened has been significant. It is something that has affected everyone's life that lives in this valley. And you know that the reality is something that has been all that was promised and more. Well, I want to salute John Fisher and his entire team. One guy that isn't here that I spent a lot of time with is Dave Cavell, but Mark and Sandy, an incredible group of people, and you really can. We've heard that you can take their word to the bank. Now, we all are looking for a championship team. That's why people are talking about the World Series already, John, and it's 3 years before the first pitch will be thrown. But the reality is this group knows how to put a championship, a playoff team on the field. They know how to do it. And I encourage all of us to watch carefully as they add piece after piece. Am I creating pressure on you? Piece after piece after piece to something, the fabric of which will win our hearts, all of us. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that my colleagues on the Clark County Commission are here today, and I want to thank them for the great work that they do generally, but the support that they've shown as we've moved this project forward. Congratulations to all of us. Thank you.
I thank everybody that's shared their thoughts. Right now, what I'd like to do is bring up the heartbeat to our game. The game starts with these little boys and girls. This is where dreams start to form. This is where the reality of dreams will be realized right behind us here. You guys ready to have some fun? Yeah. They got some baseballs in their hand. They're not hard. Maybe they are. But what I need y'all to do is stand up right now and get out of your chairs. And I'll remind you that we're not done after this, but this tends to happen at a ball game. You've been there. Typically, they tell you beer sales are ending right about now, but we're not even to noon yet, folks, so hold on. We'll have a good time a little later. But right now, time to limber up, and we're going to get the 7th inning stretch going, and our Little Leaguers are going to show us how it's done. Cue the music. Sling it, Lefty. That way. Great job, guys. Great job. Great job. You guys can head on that way. That a baby. Anyway. I sure do. We got any black eyes out there? Everybody okay? Coming in hot. I know we've got some front office members here in attendance today. For you little leaguers, don't be surprised if you are taken aside and asked to throw just a light bullpen, maybe go through some calisthenics. We're just going to take a check at some measurables and see where you're at. I know David Forrest has probably brought his radar gun. At this time, what I'd like to do is invite the speakers up today, because obviously we have a big celebration here, a big moment that we are all bringing to the forefront. I'd also like to invite Mark Bedane up as well. I think we've all thought about when this moment becomes reality. Well, it's real when you've got shovels in the dirt. So without further ado, all right, folks, help me count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.